Today, I'm going to show you how to create high-quality SaaS animations in DaVinci Resolve. SaaS animations is a huge space, but today we will focus on UI button animations. First, let's build this button animation. Drop a Fusion COM on your timeline and open it in Fusion. Grab a background node and connect it to the media out. Set the color type to 4-cornered gradient. You can ask any AI to give you hex codes for all 4 corners if you want to be super accurate. But for now, I will just tweak the color sliders and get the look I need. Alright, that looks good. Now let's start building on this canvas. Grab a rectangle and a background node. I will rename this rectangle to blue bar, connect them together, and merge them into the main pipeline. Choose a color that stands out from the background. Increase the corner radius all the way up, then adjust the width and height to turn this into a clean capsule shape. Next, add a drop shadow after this background. Pick a similar color for the shadow. Then adjust the strength, angle, and drop distance, but keep it subtle and soft. Now bring in the first logo PNG and plug it in. If you plan to turn this into a macro, use loader nodes to bring in your PNGs. Add a transform node after the PNG so we can control the size. Then position it toward the right side of the blue bar. To save some time and energy, I will copy this logo node setup and paste it 3 more times. Then plug them into the main pipeline, offset the PNGs using their transform nodes, and make sure the distance between all of them is consistent. You can fine-tune this later. Now replace the PNGs one by one. You can drag and drop a new PNG directly on top to replace it, but if you are using loader nodes, you will replace them from the inspector. Once all the PNGs are in, they might be of different resolutions. I will turn on guides to make sure all the logos are the same size. So adjust their sizes individually using their transform nodes. Now let's build the slider bar. Copy the blue bar rectangle and paste it here. Rename it slider bar. Now copy the canvas background, plug this new rectangle into it, and merge them together. Select the slider bar, go to frame 15, and add a keyframe on center X. Move about 10 frames forward, and slide the bar to the left to reveal the logos. Move about 5 frames forward, and push it just a tiny bit forward. 5 frames later, pull it slightly back. This little back and forth makes the motion feel more real. Now move about 10 frames forward and just add a keyframe. Then move 15 frames forward and slide the bar to the right to cover the logos. But go a little past the original position. Move about 10 frames forward and pull it back so it fully covers everything underneath. Open the spline editor, make sure the rectangle node is checked, zoom to fit, select the keyframes, and smooth the motion. Tweak the handles until it feels right. Now about the shadow. We don't want the shadow to be there all the time, so let's animate it to appear and disappear with the blue bar. Add frame 15, set the shadow length to 0 and keyframe it. 10 frames forward, restore the strength. Now go to the frame where the slider bar starts closing in. Add a keyframe there. 15 frames later, set the shadow strength back to 0. Open the spline editor and smooth the shadow strength as well. Let's take a look. So far so good, but at this point, the design is kind of begging for some polish. You can see the right edge of the slider bar because of the shadow, and the left edge of the blue bar is getting covered. It's not a huge deal, but honestly, it doesn't feel professional. So let's fix the shadow problem first. Grab a polygon node and connect it to the blue input of the drop shadow. Check invert. Now draw a shape so the shadow only falls below the blue bar and doesn't interfere with the rest of the design. Keep it subtle, soften the edges so it blends nicely. That already looks better. Before we fix the border, let's add the text. Grab a text node and plug it in. Type your text, choose a clean font, resize it, and give it a nice color. Now we want the text to move perfectly in sync with the slider bar, like it's written on it. Copy the slider rectangle, select the text node, go to layout, right-click center, and paste settings. And the text is fully in sync. Now we want to hide the text when it crosses the edge of the blue bar. Grab a rectangle mask, place it right here, and check invert. Now it looks like the text is vanishing into the edges, which is exactly what we want. Now let's fix the border issue. Copy the blue bar and its background and paste them here. Rename the rectangle to border, merge them together, set the color to a gradient. I will use medium gray on the left and blue on the right. Adjust the gradient a bit. In the rectangle node, uncheck solid and increase the border width slightly. Now when the slider moves left, this edge looks clean and intentional. Final touch for this button. A subtle animation on the logos when they are revealed will take this to the next level. To keep things clean, I will tidy up the node tree, drop a merge between the first 2 PNGs and plug them in. Do the same for the remaining 2 PNGs. Now add another merge between these 2 merge nodes and connect them. delete the extra merge nodes in the main pipeline, plug this master merge into the green input of the main merge, select the master merge and add a transform node after it. Now we have a global control over all the logos. With that transform selected, go to frame where the slider bar starts moving left, reduce the size slightly and keyframe it. 10 frames later, restore the size. About 5 frames later, reduce it just a tiny bit for a pulse. A few frames forward, restore it again. Now go back to the frame where the slider bar starts moving right, add a keyframe, then about 10 frames later, reduce the size slightly. Open the spline editor, check size parameter, zoom to fit, and smooth the motion. Let's take a look. Looks pretty good to me. Finally, bring in a cursor PNG and merge it into the main pipeline, add a transform node after it, resize it, and place it slightly away from the button. At frame 0, keyframe center, 15 frames forward, move it over the button to start the animation. Now go to the frame where the slider bar starts moving right. Add a keyframe, then 10 frames later, move the cursor away. Let's take one final look. Honestly, I think it looks good.